r/AskReddit by Redmond ETS. Hardware store workers, what is the most I just committed murder purchase you've ever seen? Hacksaw. A woman had killed her lover and stuffed the body under the bed until she could dispose it. After she was caught, the police came by to confirm she bought it from us. Edit. While this blew up. For more context, this happened in a Jersey Shore town sometime between 2000 and 2007. I tried googling the details I remember but couldn't find an article. I worked at a mom and pop hardware store during high school and college. Fascinating place to work. Dealt with people from every conceivable walk of life and some truly quirky regulars. I work for a call center of a farm type supplies, and I had a guy call and order some buckets, a tarp, and some like 5 pairs of gloves, and made sure that these were shipped to his office, not home. Not a murder, but a woman once came into a Fleet Farm in the middle of the work day in a very nice business suit. I rang up for her a castrator, pliers and one single bag of bands. I asked if she wanted to put it on a farm sheet and she said it wasn't for farm use. Completed her purchase in cash and walked out. It was not spring, when cheap castrating usually happens, and she was what I would call highly agitated. I watched the newspaper for a while after that. In my spare time I'm sometimes a stagehand. Recently I had to buy plastic tarps, duct tape, and zip ties for a production. I didn't think about how that would look until the obviously very new cashier was like, "That's some collection of items you got there." I once bought 4 bottles of bleach and a wire brush with no other items. The checkout lady didn't laugh when I said it was hard to get blood out of tile, lol. A long time ago my mom worked as a manager at a local Ace hardware store that sold guns and ammo. She had a story of a guy that came in and very urgently wanted to buy a gun and 1 bullet. She refused him. My hardware store did sell to a serial killer about 20 years ago. He ordered rope and a specifically short amount of chain and wire that was sold by the foot. He later used those to strangle his victims. After he was caught, receipts were found from our store. Police came in, showed the picture, and my boss confirmed he had bought the stuff. When I was 16, some friends and I were buying PVC pipe. A worker, who was a 20-something stoner, asked if we needed help finding anything and we gave him our list. He chuckled and said, "You're building a potato gun." We claimed we weren't, and he just shook his head and told us we were doing it wrong. He showed us all the parts and told us how to put together our not potato gun. I hope that dude is thriving because the potato gun he helped us with literally shot a potato over 2 football field lengths. It was basically a 5-foot-long mortar. Had a lady once buy a bunch of plastic wrap, duct tape, and bleach. Swore it was for spring cleaning. I bought a murder kit for my friend's birthday from the dollar store a few years ago. The cashier didn't care at all, but the guy in front of me was looking worried. I swear, this dude bought a shovel, gloves, bleach, and trash bags. I low-key thought he was starting a murder spree. Not hardware but close to it. Circa 1998 I was working at a gas station one night and a man comes in with a blue gas can. He prepays I think $3 of gas and leaves after pumping it into the can. It stuck out in my mind because blue cans are supposed to be for kerosene. 3-4 days later everyone was talking about the fire someone set that killed a woman. A fire investigator shows up at the station and asks if I remembered a certain name and or vehicle. I don't. The investigator then tells me that they can't tell which gas station gas came from, so it has to have been bought either at our station or 115 or so miles down the road. After chatting a bit he mentioned that the arsonist had used a blue gas can. The light bulb came on over my head and I mentioned seeing one. The guy with the blue can ended up killing someone with the gas I sold him. Not a hardware store but a discount chain. I testified on the validity of video footage of the murderers buying rope, shovel, gloves, and the items to bury the body. These guys used a brand associated only with that chain of stores. Pretty easy to trace the tools back to where they were purchased. When my family owned a hardware store, we unknowingly ended up selling a handsaw to a guy who later used it to cut up the body of his girlfriend he murdered. A couple of us ended up having to testify at his murder trial to help prove premeditation. I never ended up following the trial any further, but I think he was unfortunately suffering from a mental breakdown or illness. Years ago had a guy walk in quickly and say he needed a shovel, blacktop, and lime. I told him where everything was, and said and I don't want to know about it. He was confused, and I said, you are buying things to dispose of a body. He got sad. His dog had died. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening.